What's up YouTube, Jeff back again, and today I got another exciting video for you guys. Today we're going to talk more about the iPhone 14 Pro Max versus S22 Ultra debate. If you missed my video yesterday, I made a video talking about 5 features that the S22 Ultra has that the iPhone 14 Pro Max still lacks. So check that out. Today I'm actually going to talk about why I don't think it's a great idea to upgrade from your S22 Ultra to an iPhone 14 Pro Max, even though you might be tempted. Some of you out there have even said you were tempted in the comments of my last video. Now, before we get started, I want to remind you guys my wallpaper and icon pack links will be in the description and the pinned comment. So if you want to get this wallpaper and the icon pack, just click those links and it'll take you there to the apps that have those icon packs and wallpapers. You can download them if you enjoy them. So I saw a lot of people actually in the comments of yesterday's video talking about the fact that they were thinking of upgrading to the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I mean, I'm a Samsung guy, so obviously I'm biased, but let me talk about some reasons why I think it's not a great idea. So let's go through the new features that are the most impressive or the most hyped by Apple about the iPhone 14 Pro Max. One of them is the always-on display. Now, admittedly, the always-on display on the new iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max is different than what you have on your Samsung device, mainly because instead of just seeing black and white, well, not black and white, my time is actually colored, of course, in One UI 5 with using Lockstar. You can color it and match it with the rest of your theme, your dynamic theme. But you don't get your full wallpaper, for instance. Like on Always On Display, I can't see my wallpaper. On the new Apple version, you can see full color wallpaper, very dimly lit. And you also have widgets that you can interact with without turning the screen on fully. That's a huge win, but it's not such a huge jump from what we have now that I would want to, upgrade my phone entirely for that, because you lose a lot of the things I mentioned yesterday, like the S Pen, customization, multitasking, the ability to sideload apps, reverse wireless charging, Samsung DeX, the list goes on and on. It's not revolutionary enough that I'd want to lose all of that just to get widgets I can interact with and then seeing my colored wallpaper very dimly lit. Plus, you got to remember, this is the tech industry. Samsung is going to borrow and implement that in their own way eventually. Apple borrows and implements everything Samsung does. They go back and forth. That's just the way it is in the smartphone industry. So this is going to come to a Galaxy phone in a couple of years, and I wouldn't want to sacrifice all the other features we have now, upgrade to an iPhone as my main daily driver. Now that being said, obviously I ordered the iPhones. People are like, why did you order the iPhones? I have to have them for comparisons for the channel. I mean, I do camera comparisons, I do hardware and software comparisons all the time. And I also use my iPhone for video, which is the one thing that I think it's good at. I shoot a lot of video on the go because I am a full-time professor. In addition to doing my videos every day, sometimes I have to shoot on the go. The iPhone's my secondary phone that I use for video. So the next thing that is a big improvement for the iPhone 14, or a new feature, is the dynamic island. So if you don't know what the dynamic island is, the dynamic island is this kind of pill-shaped cutout at the top where you can get rich information like notifications, when the camera's in use, when the mic is in use. It has really cool animations. I won't lie, it is a really cool idea. But a couple of things about that as well. Aesthetically, the pill shape on the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max still looks a lot worse than the punch hole on the S22 Ultra. If you're using dark mode, you basically don't even notice that it's really there because it's so small, it really fades away. I mean, even if you're using an app that's not in dark mode, but pretty much everything's in dark mode now on Android, you really don't notice the punch hole because it's so tiny. You're still going to notice that pill, the dynamic island, and even though it does have rich information and very smooth and cool looking animations, we still have very good notifications, pop-up notifications on Android. And we do also have indicators for things like the camera, the mic in One UI 5.0. It's not something I feel like I need to have, but I do think it's a really cool implementation. But once again, going back to what I said before, Samsung is probably going to borrow or implement a version of that in a future Galaxy device. Now, will it be the S23 Ultra? Probably not, because that's already in development. Unless, of course, they knew this was coming down the pipe, because they do supply parts to Apple for their devices. Probably by the S24, though, we'll probably see something like that. I would imagine they will implement it because I just think it's a really cool idea. Not that they steal everything from Apple, but both companies borrow back and forth. The next thing is a really big one, And that's USB-C, man. USB-C is awesome. Having a universal charging standard to charge all of your stuff, which means if you have multiple devices, if you have headphones, like I have, multiple different types of headphones, pretty much they all use USB-C now. Every tech gadget you get that's new is going to charge with USB-C. But guess what doesn't charge with USB-C yet? The iPhone 14 Pro Max. Having to carry around an extra lightning cable for my iPhones, because I do use them for video, is a huge pain, and I really hate it. Apple is rumored to go to USB-C next year with the iPhone 15 Pro, and so then that might be maybe another reason to potentially consider if you're really wanting to go to Apple. I still would never use it as my daily driver, but that's a reason to wait an additional year because you're still going to be using Lightning, and then all those Lightning cables will be useless next year if you then upgrade to the iPhone 15 Pro or Pro Max. So that's a really compelling one as well. And then the last one is just, I think that if you have used Samsung for a long time, now this doesn't go from people who've been on iPhone and they just tried Samsung recently. If you've been on Samsung or Android for a long time and you go to an iPhone as your daily driver, you're gonna miss it. And this coming from someone who every year when I get the new iPhone, I try to use it as my daily driver for a few days, even a week, but I almost never get through a full week because the notifications are so clunky, the customization options aren't there. I need more robust multitasking from my device, and lots of great features. Even if you don't use the S Pen, I love the S Pen, but even if you think the S Pen is not necessary, all those other things I just mentioned are features that I just miss too much. So I really never keep my main SIM in an iPhone. It always becomes a secondary device that I just keep in my pocket for shooting video. So those are my thoughts on why it's not a good idea to upgrade from an S22 Ultra to the iPhone 14 Pro Max as your main phone. If you want it as a secondary phone, it's really fun having an iPhone as a second phone, of course, because you get to play with a different operating system and it's fun to compare and do things like that. I have to do it since I run this channel and it's kind of part of the job, the YouTube job, so to speak. But if you want a secondary phone and you can afford it, great, get one, but I wouldn't use it as my primary. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification icon for future videos like this. Check out the wallpaper and icon pack. The links in the description and the pinned comment. Best Buy also has some good deals right now on the foldables. If you guys want to check that out, I will pin that as well. Appreciate you guys checking it out, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.